Okay, YouTube, now that I've gotten done rambling to the camera for 9 minutes and 40 seconds, we can get on to the next project. Since it's raining out, I can do something here that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've got 3 different items here. Well, 4 different items. There's a handful of items. And what I'm going to do is something I've been intending to do for quite a while and just hadn't had the time to get it done, and I decided, well, now seems like as good a time as any. I'm going to build myself an air compressor. If you watch many of my videos, you know that this air compressor leaks like a sieve. It's got the less than desirable type shutoff valve on it, and it leaks from that fitting right there. I garbage picked an old compressor, picked up this regulator valve, which is the better style. It's the one way in type valve. It just reads pressure off the tank and shuts off the motor off of that instead of the pump running directly through it. So basically you just got to tee off and go into the into the tank. But anyways, so let's see, where was I going with this? Hell, I'm at a bit of a loss now. I got lost. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, gonna build a compressor. Got myself back on track. What I've done is I've taken a big piece of pipe that we've got, and this is an old propane tank. I don't know how many gallons these are. I think they're like 23 or 2 or something like that. Maybe they're more, I don't know. Maybe they're less. All I know is it's bigger than this 11-gallon tank that we got here, and that's going to give us more air reserve. Aside from the fact that I won't have to unplug the compressor every time I get done running it, which means that I can have air on hand immediately. Having the bigger tank will allow me to run air tools, my paint gun a little easier, the sander, my orbital sander, and some things like that, make some bodywork projects a little easier. But what we're going to do is we'll take the tank, we're going to set it in that base, and then we're going to weld it, we'll level it up, and then we'll weld it on there. What I'll do then is I'm going to take the top piece off of this compressor, and I'm going to take the top piece off of this compressor, and I will to cut it off, and we will take the valve off of this propane tank and take the valve off, thread the right fittings in there, and basically weld that top piece on the top of the tank there. Now, just as a side note, you guys know I'm terrified of fire. This tank has been sitting open for the better part of about 2 years. I've been very nervous about welding on it. But it's been sitting open for a couple years now, and it's been inside, outside, everywhere, so I'm fairly confident that it's purged. So we're going to give this a try, and I guess if something drastic does happen, you'll see it first, right here on the Wick Ranch. So, onward ho. Okay, there we go. I took my handy dandy level here, and I leveled it up, and we're looking all kinds of peachy dandy, so this should be good. Now, next thing I'm going to do, if for nothing more than just to make sure that I'm not going to blow myself up, I'm going to take the oxygen acetylene, and I am going to see if there's any propane left in it, because I don't know if there is or is not. So we're going to light up the propane, or light up the torch here. Oh, gotta purge it. Haven't had it on for a while. Now, I'd say there doesn't appear to be any propane in there. And I could be completely wrong, but yeah, looks like I'm safe to weld. Okay, now what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to go ahead and put some tack welds on it. That'll hold it in place so that I can tip it over and finish up my welds really nice so everything holds good. So, I'm going to go ahead and tip it down. We'll get you guys repositioned so you can see what I'm doing here. And then we'll get back to welding. Okay, as you can see, I've stripped the platform off of the air tank here, and I have put it on the what's going to be the new air tank. And I had to notch it out a little bit so that it fit the curvature of the top of the tank. And now I got to go ahead and weld that on there. So let's get after it. I don't know how good my welds are going to be because that's on a painted surface and paint's really hard to weld over, and I do not have any 6010 rod, which would be the preferable rod for this particular job just because it's such a hot burning rod. It's yeah, basically that's the purpose of 6010. Now I don't even know where I'm going to ground this thing at, but yeah, I'm going to keep making it unlevel if I do that. But I'll tell you what though, I am going to get a fitting and put it right up there in the deal, and that'll give me in the opening in the top of the tank, and that will give me something to ground to. Okay, there we go. Got my fitting in the top. Let's actually, what we're going to do is we're going to re-level this now. So everything looks all pretty. We'll re-level it. And then we'll go ahead and weld it. Okay, here we go. There we go. That ought to do the trick. Let's go over this other side and we'll weld this. Okay, there we are. All welded up. So, next thing up, we just got to put our welder and some of the tools away, and then we can start putting the air compressor parts up on top. Just about got her. Then I guess the one last thing we got to do, we got to plumb up the different valves and such. Okay. So, we got it all welded up. Had a little change of plans. I didn't want to tee this off and bring my regulator off of this, so I welded a little bung here to mount that regulator into. So we're going to have to see if my welds actually will hold water. Haven't cleaned up any of my mess here, and so I have a bit of a wreck going on. But at any rate, so now what we got to do is we got to dope up all the fittings, and we'll get everything put back together. see it's all there. So all I gotta do now is wire up my motor and plumb in my my fittings. So we'll get that done, and then we can test her out. Well, there it is. It works, but one downside. My shut-off valve here, there's a little rubber seal inside these things, so when it shuts off, there's a diaphragm and it closes that valve, blah, 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 blah. But that valve is leaking just the same way as that one was. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on eBay tonight and see if I can't find a cheap, good one. And then hopefully I won't have this problem. On my pop-off valve, my pressure valve keeps popping off now too. But anyways, I'm going to try and find one on eBay, and maybe we can't get it fixed that way. At least for now though, I got the bigger tank built. And God bless it anyways. At least I got the bigger tank built, and that's all done, and it's filling with air. So that's a start at any rate. I've been needing to get this done for quite a while, and I'm finally now just doing it. But as usual, till another video. We'll see you guys later.